Oh
Just 19 days until Election Day. We're taking a look at some of the candidates running in key races. Joining us now, Democratic candidate for Congress in Missouri's 1st U.S. District, Cori Bush. Thank you so much for being on this morning. You are quite the improbable candidate. Tell us your story and why you're running.
I grew up in a household, first of all, thank you for having me back. But I grew up in a household where my dad's been in politics for most of my life. And so because of what I saw, I said I'd never do it. But after Michael Brown was murdered, I just said, it was just too much. A great man gave his soul to the community, but he went through a lot. But after Michael Brown was murdered in Ferguson, and I say murdered, I took to the streets as clergy, as a medic. I'm a registered nurse, just trying to help out. But what I saw was something like civil rights footage, from the 60s in my community. And so, I had to, I just had to stay out in the street and I had to see what justice could look like in this moment. And we didn't find justice. And one day someone asked me to run. And when someone asked me to run for office, I said, no, why would I ever want to do that? But when I thought about it, how do we get the heart of the people that have been out here on the streets day after day, fighting for justice for Black lives? How do we get that heart into these seats? Into federal seats? You have to run. And so I stepped up to run. Plus, I have to look out to save the life of my son, the life of my daughter.
Yamiche.
Thanks so much for being here. I'm interested in talking to you about the enthusiasm that your campaign was able to garner. You got grassroots support. You're someone who really felt like had the backing of her community. I'm also hearing from people here in Florida that there are voters who are not as enthusiastic about Joe Biden. What's your message and maybe your advice to the Biden campaign to get the enthusiasm that you saw in your own race?
So a great activist locally here in St. Louis by the name of Kayla Reed, she said something phenomenal recently. She said, especially for those people, vote conditions and not candidates then. And so what are your conditions and which candidate will help you to get to the goal, meeting whatever your issues are? Who's going to get you there quicker? Is it going to be Donald Trump or is it going to be Joe Biden? And if we're talking about helping marginalized groups that are disenfranchised, people who are already hurting right now, who's going to help us to get out of the situations we're in? Is it Donald Trump or is it going to be Joe Biden? And look at the administration. We cannot just look at the president. We have to look at his administration. We have to look at the minions that are coming up, that think that this, I call Donald Trump the big daddy of bigotry, the current father of racism. Do we want to bring more into these, into elected office that are like him? No.
Cori, it's Willie Geist. You're all but assured to be elected after your upsetting in the primary 2 months ago of a 10-term incumbent. You're all but assured to win your race and to go to Washington in January. So I think a lot of people think we need more people like you in Washington, someone who's out there and has lived this and has lived these problems. They are not theoretical to you because you've been on the ground working on them. So how do you keep your voice up in a place where there are 434 other Congress people and a bunch of senators? How do you make an impact when you get there?
Staying true to myself, because that's how I got here. When people said, I don't look the part, I don't sound the part, I don't have the right name, even though my last name is Bush, that's a whole other story. But, I don't have the right titles. When they said I couldn't, when they said my braids were unprofessional, my hips were too big, and I still kept going. They said I wasn't educated enough, I kept going, and now I'm here. So in that same way, I'll use that same voice, that same energy that I had out on the streets of Ferguson when people were getting their butts kicked. I kept going. When I was low wage and unhoused, when I was going through domestic violence and sexual assault, I kept going. So in the same way, I kept a voice there and I moved forward, and I will bring that same authenticity, that same fire and passion to Congress. And I feel like that's the way that we bring people in. You share your story and you expose people to what they may not know. I'm exposing people to a life, to lived experiences that they may not know. I'll stay true to me. I'm going in as a politicist.
Cori Bush, thank you for stepping up, and thanks for being on this morning.
Thank you.
And still to come, we're breaking down new national polling that shows Joe Biden leading among several key demographics. With less than 3 weeks to go, until Election Day.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.